I think the first thing that many people don't know about Mount Rushmore, because it's so big, because it's so monumental, for lack of a better word, people assume that the federal government was behind it from the very beginning, when really my favorite part of the story is that the idea for Mount Rushmore was created by a state historian named Doane Robinson, who in the 1920s was really concerned about South Dakota's economy. At the time, South Dakota's markets were collapsing because World War I had devastated European markets, but when they recovered, the markets in South Dakota really tanked. And so banks were closing, farms were foreclosing.
As I read in your book, South Dakota was a pre-Depression era state, 10 years ahead of time.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It sort of was a precursor to what was about to come down the line several years later for the entire country.
So it needed some kind of elixir, and Doane Robinson thought tourism might be one of them.
He did. Yeah, there were a bunch of cars and car tourists that were driving around that part of the country. And
what do we do?
He felt it would be a really great idea to carve sculptures into the Black Hills to attract these tourists that were moving around the state at the time. And so his idea was to create figures that were representative of the American West.
But not the figures we see on Mount Rushmore.
Not the figures we see at Mount Rushmore. And that's crucial to the story, because the idea that Doane Robinson had was really an economic idea. It was one of tourism. He wanted to diversify the economy.